Hey guys, pretty excited to show you a little tool today. This is called a sustainability compass, and it's just a framework for gaining greater insight into any situation. So you can use this when you're evaluating a situation with your parents, or you can evaluate you could use this as you're trying to choose your college. You can use this as you're trying to make decisions and understand, just from different perspectives. So what I want to do is kind of show you what are some of how to use this and what it means. Okay, so it's a compass. So there's north, south, east, and west, and those stand for nature, society, economy, and well-being. And so what I try to do is just think through on just what are general ideas or concepts related to each one of these. And you can make a huge list. I'm just gonna write down a couple things. So economy, obviously the first thing I kind of think about is money. I might also think about livelihood, the job that I have. I might also think about spending, things like that, right? And there's a lot of more different ideas that you guys can come up with here, okay? Society, what are things that I think about when I think of society? Well, maybe that's how people interact, or community. It could also deal with social services. It could be leadership and decision making. It could be a lot of different things. How does my situation, or how does the situation I'm looking at relate to other people? Okay, well-being, for me, I try to think through on this one in physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And so obviously there's loads and loads of things that are related to my physical health or my mental health, emotional, spiritual health. So you kind of list off or come up with questions related to all of those different areas. Okay? And then nature, this one is related to kind of how the situation is interacting with nature, the impact that it has on the environment, right? So this could be waste. And this could be other resources, right? So this could be water, it could be land, it could be other resources. A lot of people think about plants when they think of this area too, okay? So here comes Mr. Mark. We're gonna look at this a little bit related to one of the books that you guys wrote. So you wanna write the book kind of title in here?
Yeah. So even though we're gonna be using this for our No Way Out unit and for our field trip, I thought it might help you kind of make sense of it, to think about it in kind of as we encounter issues that were brought up in our Nectar in a Civ unit. So to kind of do what Mr. Mike did, and to make a bullet point list. So you have related to someone's job, they were farmers. There was a tannery in the city. There was the job in the city that he did at the end. Obviously there's tons of community and togetherness and depending on each other in the village. I think the family life has to do with a lot of this. Well-being, I mean, tons of stuff. They suffered through hunger, poverty. Then in the city, we could say that they suffered a lot of isolation, loneliness, things like that. And then nature, they obviously at the beginning in the village, they were dependent on the land. In the city, they on land. In the city, though, they kind of saw some more negative aspects of nature. So pollution, in the city, things like that. So if you think about it like a example in the book, like when they made the move to the city, maybe it was like a good thing for the economy. It was like a way to provide income for themselves. However, it kind of took a toll on these other aspects of the family's life. So like the like interconnectedness that they felt in the village, they like didn't have because they were kind of isolated in the city. The pollution that was going on in the city was maybe like worse, and the city had a harsher toll on the environment than what was going on in the city. Also, maybe they had more opportunities to get money, to get food in the city, but they also felt very isolated, felt very lonely, felt like they didn't belong, so it kind of took a lot of toll on their well-being as well. So as you can see, like when maybe in someone's life there could be like pros for a certain area of this compass, but then maybe it could take a toll, or maybe it could be like have like a cause and effect relationship with other aspects of the four sides of the compass. Yeah.
So there's really like two questions that you're kind of looking at. One is you kind of just write down and brainstorm as many different aspects of whatever situation you're looking at, and you're just trying to understand what is happening. That's the question. What is happening? And then the second step, that's this cause and effect, and this is where Mr. Mark showed you a little bit about these relationships between these, and try to understand why is it happening, or what are the effects of the reality. Okay? And so that's kind of the initial, real quick introduction to the compass.